Welcome to the City TV Game of the Week. It is Rivalry Day. Hawthorne Cougars are here to visit the Lawndale Cardinals at Cardinal High School, or Lawndale High School, home of the Cardinals. And let's see if we can get Robert Dempsey, one of the assistant coaches, and also the father of Jace Dempsey, who is going to introduce the people that are the seniors. There are 5 seniors here that are going to be honored from Lawndale High School. And let's see, do we have a microphone? Can we hear them? So Robert Dempsey is going to introduce the 5 seniors, and Dimitri Howard, the athletic director, will honor them with roses. And Morris Phillips also next to them as well. And there we see one of the seniors. And that's Robert Dempsey. It's Adrian Saldana, number 7, and he will be batting 9th today against the Cardinals and playing left field. Aaron Gomez, number 6. You see, he had to work. A lot of these kids just can't play like a lot of them. But Aaron Gomez will be batting 8th today and playing second base. Part of this training staff. Julian Diaz, number 9, and what a pitcher he is. Got their little dance going before prom even. Jace Jace Dempsey, the coach's kid. What a moment that is right there.
Hey, thank you guys again, man, from the bottom of our heart. Coach Phillips, Mr. Howard, and I, we really appreciate y'all support all year. We got some hot dogs and links after the game for the ones. You know who you are. Thank you, thank you.
All right, senior day, always fun and always a little sad too, because all of these kids are going to be moving on and some are going to be sticking around. And the players, Julian Diaz, number 9, number 2, Jace Dempsey, number 6, Aaron Gomez, and number 7, Adrian Saldana. So congratulations to them. Picture time now. And it's going to be baseball time in just a moment, as the umpires are on the infield talking to head coach Larry Stevenson of the Cougars. And we'll be back right after this on City TV with the opening lineups in the first pitch. And let's just watch this unfold here as they're exchanging lineups at home plate with the umpires. The home plate umpire today is Ron White. On the bases, it's going to be Steve Morgan. And we'll be back with the pitch and the lineups right after this. Back here at Lawndale High School, and the Cardinals have come out to the field, and let's introduce the Cardinals in the field. And from right to left field, or left to right field, excuse me, Adrian Saldana, Jace Dempsey, and Josh Barberin. That's in the field. And around the bases, it'll be Wayne Sales at third base, Emilio Barrera at shortstop, Aaron Gomez at second, and Christian Medrano is at first. Behind the plate, Tony Estrella, and on the mound, there you see him, number 9, Julian Diaz, the ace of the staff. And he will face this lineup put together by Larry Stevenson, the head coach of the Hawthorne Cougars. Batting first and playing shortstop is Cesar Hernandez. Batting second and playing third base, Ricky Navarro. Batting third and in left field, or excuse me, center field, it'll be number 55, Michael Villarreal. On the mound, it'll be number 23, Danny Villarreal. Then behind the plate, number 21, Andy Garcia. Josh Robles will be playing first base. Alex Villarreal will be in right field. Daniel De La Luz is at second base. And the number 9 hitter for Hawthorne, Andres Rodriguez, he'll be the left fielder. So here comes Hernandez to face Julian Diaz. And here's the first pitch of senior day, a fastball right down Hawthorne. The Cougars are 5-18 overall, as this one's popped up right up the middle. And Gomez says he has it, and the wind kind of blows it around and puts it away. That'll bring up Ricky Navarro. The Cougars are 5-18 overall, and 1-8 in the Ocean League. And they are percentage points ahead of the Cardinals. And the Cougars are looking for a sweep of the two. This one's a fastball in the outside corner for strike 1 to Ricky. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, 0-2. So it was the Cardinals trying to convince the CIF playoff gods that they belong in the playoffs. Curveball is low, 1-2. But now Hawthorne, they want to convince CIF that they belong in the playoffs. Outside 2-2 with a fastball. So we'll just see what happens. Strike 3 called, and Navarro can't believe it. So a strikeout looking. First strikeout of the day for Diaz. And that'll bring up Michael Villarreal. Villarreal looks at a ball outside. Michael is a freshman. This one's fouled off. 1-1. Danny's a senior. And Alex is a freshman. Swing and a miss on that fastball. That's a tough one to catch up to. Morris Phillips, the head coach of the Cardinals, was so upset about the loss. There's a beautiful curveball. Strike 3 called. So 1-2-3 go the Cougars in their first at bat against Julian Diaz. Look at that curveball. Oh, man, that's a beauty. 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And it's quitting time for the top of the first inning. No score for the Cougars, and the Lawndale Cardinals are coming to bat against Danny Villarreal. Here come the Cardinals in the bottom of the first inning. They'll send up Wayne Sales, Tony Estrella, and Julian Diaz in that order, against senior pitcher Danny Villarreal. First pitch is a little low. Looked like it was there, but just low to Sales. The third baseman today for the Cardinals. Took a little off of it, and that's strike 1. Curveball, and that finds the strike zone. And it's 1-2. Comes the 1-2 curveball, and that's sent the other way to second base. Picked up by De La Luz and throws him out. So 4-3 on the putout. So watch this curveball coming in. Nice swing on it, but right into Daniel De La Luz's glove to Jose Robles. And that'll bring up Danny Estrella, the catcher. Did he go around? It's called a strike. Estrella went around on it, couldn't hold up, and it's 0-1. Let's go over the Cougar defense while we have a moment. In between pitches, from left field to right field, here comes the 0-1 pitch. That's in the dirt. 1-1. Andres Rodriguez is in left field. Michael Villarreal is in center field. His brother, Alex, is in right. From third to first, it's Ricky Navarro at third. Cesar Hernandez is a shortstop. Fastball high, 2-1. Daniel De La Luz and Jose Robles is second and first respectively. We've introed you to them. Behind the plate, it's Andy Garcia. And on the mound, it's Danny Villarreal with a fastball. Just missed, 3-1. Coaching at third base for the Cardinals is Morris Phillips. Fastball, and that's sent into center field. And moving over a few steps is Michael Villarreal. So 2 down. And that'll bring up Julian Diaz. Curveball, and that finds the strike zone. 0-1 to the senior. Ground ball to third. Nice big hop to Navarro. And throws it on to first to Jose Robles, and that'll do it. So a nice big hop on that grounder to Ricky Navarro. Had enough time to double pump and throw him out. So 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals in their half of the first inning. Let's go to the second. No score. First pitch to the Cougars. Danny Villarreal is outside. So pitcher against pitcher. So 1, 2, 3 went both teams. A curveball, and that bounces away from Tony Estrella. 2-0. And both pitchers, Julian Diaz and Danny Villarreal, threw 11 pitches. Big difference, Julian has 2 strikeouts. That's in the dirt off of the umpire. But I'm sure Ron White's shin guards deflected that. Fastball, and that's just fouled at the plate. 3-1. Here comes the 3-1, and that's grounded down the line and into left field. That's going to be extra bases. Villarreal wants to, but he decides to stay there with a leadoff single. Getting on the ball quickly was Adrian Saldana, who got the ball in quick. So the first hit of the game goes to Danny Villarreal, and now here comes Andy Garcia. Garcia bunts it up the first baseline, and that goes foul. Garcia catching for the Cougars today. We'll take a second look at it. And he pushed it up the line. This one is deadened right back to the pitcher's mound. Diaz checks second, but throws the easy out. So the sacrifice works. 1-3. So down to second goes Villarreal in scoring position. That'll bring up Jose Robles. Fastball right down the middle. Big Jose doesn't have the wind like they do at Hawthorne. Ball in the dirt. 1-1. At Hawthorne, the home plate is pretty much just the opposite of what it is here at Lawndale. It's a launching pad at Hawthorne and at Lusinger. Ball gets away from Estrella, but Villarreal's not going anywhere. 2-1. Fastball. 3-1. That must have been inside. It was at the knees. Another fastball, and that's down the middle. So now the count's all loaded up at 3-2. With one down, Danny Villarreal is probably going to stay right where you see him. Curveball, and that's bounced, short hopped by the third baseman. Throw across, and it kept Danny Villarreal at third base. As Wayne Sales bobbled it on the short hop, but still came up with it. Let's watch this. Curveball, and the ball's bouncing around. Sales finally gets it and knew that he had Jose Robles running, so he had the opportunity to pick him up and throw him out and keep Danny Villarreal at second base. So missed opportunity for the Cougars to move the runner along, and now comes Alex Villarreal. Looks at a strike. Curveball. Throw down to second. And Villarreal gets back in a hurry. So that curveball did get away from Estrella. It's 2-1 to Alex. And strike two. So now it's 2-2. So Danny Villarreal started the inning off with a base hit. And now Morris Phillips calls timeout. And might be some people out in the field there. Or they're throwing some football equipment, padding or something, over the fence. So Adrian Saldana doing his best He-Man impression. Wow, she could have gotten the special effects there. Little booms and crashes. So Adrian's got a big fan club. So the football team doing some pushing and shoving over the fence. They wanted some airtime. So now it's 2-2 to Alex Villarreal, and a ground ball to Sales at third. Throws across to Medrano, and that'll do it for the Cougars in their half of the second inning. No runs on a hit. Danny Villarreal left at second base, and we'll look at this one more time on the curveball again. Had a little bit of spin on it that Sales had to backhand. And we'll go to the bottom of the second, no score. Bottom of the second inning, it'll be Medrano, Barbarin, and Dempsey to face Danny Villarreal, pitching out of the stretch. Fastball, and that's pulled foul to Christian Medrano. Both teams have the luxury of big first baseman. Off speed pitch, and that's low. So again, Morris Phillips coaching down at third base is from the 50th state of Hawaii. Fastball, and that is through into left field for a base hit. Medrano really belted that one. So a leadoff base hit, just like the Cougars in their top of the second inning. That'll bring up Josh Barber in the right fielder. But Morris was telling us that his brother watches our games on the YouTube channel back in Honolulu. And he's a coach for the Kamehameha district. And Coach Phillips wants to take his Cardinals and fly the flock over to Hawaii next year for a tournament. Gee, maybe we can go there and televise some games. Ball's up high. 1-1. We'll just put some flotation devices around the new production truck and row it out there. Just outside. 2-1. Off-speed pitch, and that stays away. It stays inside, I should say. Now it's 3-1. So the Cardinals are also 1-8, and they're 9-13. They have more wins overall than Hawthorne does. And they're just hoping that they can convince strike two. No. 3-2 with a runner at first. And this one's fouled off. But it was a tough last few games for the Cardinals. Not only did they lose 3 straight to the teams they really needed to beat. As this one's grounded to third, and it can't be picked up. It was bobbled by Ricky Navarro, and safe everywhere is Barberin and Medrano's at second. That was an error on the third baseman, Ricky Navarro. But the Cardinals were close in losing at Santa Monica 5-4. We're looking at the replay here. Just took his eyes off of it, that split second. And then again a loss to Santa Monica 5-4. Culver City at Culver City. They lost 4-3. Then at Culver City here, they lost 1-0 in 8 innings. So what a game that was. And then El Segundo held them in the 1-run game. Lost 1-0 and then 2-1. This is bunted. This is for a base hit. Picked up by Villarreal. Throws, but no. As the speedy Jace Dempsey is on with a base hit. So that loads the bases with nobody out for the designated hitter, Jonathan Ponce. Picked up Villarreal, but by the time he threw it, Dempsey was already across first base. So Villarreal has the bases loaded, nobody out, and a breaking ball in for a strike to Ponce. Designated hitting for the shortstop, Emilio Barrera. And that hit him. Hit him up on the shoulder, and that drives in a run. So it's 1-0 Lawndale on a hit by a pitch. So we'll see where it sounded like it was on the shoulder. Yep, right on the shoulder. Right on the delt. So that's an RBI the hard way. That'll bring up Aaron Gomez, the second baseman. Bases are still loaded with no out. And low for ball one. Curveball. That was short. So the Cardinals looking for some payback after losing at Hawthorne 4-2. Fastball outside. 3-0. pulls the bat back, and that's ball 4. Calling time is Andy Garcia. And there's going to be a powwow on the mound, and don't know if there's going to be a pitching change or not. There's Rene Gonzalez goes out. So an RBI for Gomez, and it's 2-0. Let's take a peek at that last pitch that was low and outside. Even though Gomez squared around to bunt, I think Gonzalez just wants to go and calm Danny Villarreal down. Morris Phillips having a pep talk to his runners out there. At third base is Jace Dempsey. Second, Emilio Barrera. And at first, Aaron Gomez. Bottom of the order, Adrian Saldana, the he-man of the group, throwing those big red concrete barriers over the fence. Or where they foam. Well, if you ask him on prom night, they're concrete with rebar. Ball 1. Minute. Fastball looked like it was a strike, but it must have been inside. It's 2-0. Bases loaded, nobody out. Fastball, and that's called a strike. Sixth Cardinal to fly into the batter's box in this inning. That's low and outside. So Coach Larry Stevenson talking with Rene Gonzalez, the two coaches for the Cougars at the dugout. This one is hit and bobbled by De La Luz. In comes Dempsey, and here comes Ponce. 2 more runs come in, and it's 5-0 in favor of Lawndale. Let's take a peek at this. This was Saldana hit it to De La Luz, and again he took his eyes off it just for a second, and that allowed Ponce to come in to score. So Gomez is at third now. Second error of the inning, and the ball gets away from Garcia, and down to second goes Saldana. Gomez is at third, and over at second is Saldana. And strike 1 to Wayne Sales. So it's 1-1. Still nobody out. And that's low in the dirt. 2-1. That's low. Pardon me. It's 1, 2, 3, 4-0. Comes Villarreal's pitch, and that's hammered into left center field for a base hit. Here comes Gomez to score. Saldana touches the plate. 2 more runs come in, and that makes it 6-0 in favor of Lawndale. And that clears the bases on the 2-run single. Nicely done. That brings up Tony Estrella. Fastball, and that's inside. And still nobody out. Pitch is high, the runner goes, and that is saved from going into center field by Danny De La Luz. Still a stolen base for Sales. Puts himself into scoring position. Nice lead for Sales there. And this one is lined into center field for a base hit. Let's see if Sales tries to come in. He's coming in. Here's a throw to the plate. Safe at home and down to second base, and he is out. But still a base hit and an RBI for Tony Estrella. Wayne Sales scores on the play. There you see it. Just a nice, easy swing going with the pitch into left field. Picked up by Michael Villarreal. And then the throw in by Jose Robles. Then Andy Garcia with a nice throw there. So it's one out. Ground ball to third base. Throw over to Robles, and that's the second out. On the ninth, Cardinal to reach. Nice little short hop by Navarro. That'll bring up Christian Medrano, who started things off in the bottom of the second inning with a base hit to left field and came around to score. Curveball in for a strike. So it's 7-0. And this one's hit high and deep into center field, and that is caught by Michael Villarreal, and that brings the nightmare of an inning for Danny Villarreal and the Cougars to an end. But not without a ride on the ball by Christian Medrano. Boy, he just belted that one. But 7 runs put up on the board for the Cardinals as we go to the third inning. Cardinals up 7-0. De La Luz, the first hitter for the Cougars, swings and misses. The left-hander now beats it foul up the third baseline the opposite way. That would have been extra bases. That'd have been fair. But instead, it's 0-2. Following Daniel, it'll be Andres Rodriguez, and then the leadoff hitter, top of the order, Cesar Hernandez against Julian Diaz. Look out. That fastball got away. It's 1-2. With 7 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors in the bottom half of the second inning for Lawndale. 2 errors against the Cougars. One of them on Daniel. As he fouls that one back. That one was up high. So it's 2-2. Only 1 hit given up by Julian Diaz. And 2 strikeouts. Fastball. Daniel De La Luz is all over that. Nice bat speed for Daniel. Fouls it back again. This will be the 8th pitch in the at-bat. Ron White getting some baseballs back from Andres Rodriguez, and this one is low. So now it's 3-2. So here comes the 9th pitch. And this one sent high in the air to Jace Dempsey in center field, and he'll put that away. But again, it's not the wind tunnel, the jet stream at Hawthorne High School. This is right into the wind. Dalen Luce giving it a ride, but just dies out there in that Death Valley of the wind. Cesar Hernandez, or check that, Andres Rodriguez. Apologize. Fastball, as Tony Estrella tried to frame that one, but Ron White wasn't buying. So it's 1-0. 1-1, excuse me. And that's called a strike on a nice breaking ball. Curve ball, and that's fouled towards the Cardinal dugout. Senior day, and we've got a nice crowd here, a nice Lawndale crowd on the first base side. You know, they've changed dugouts this year. Fastball swung on, and that missed everything except for Ron White. And from what I hear, that doesn't make an umpire happy. Makes the count 2-2. Curveball, and that hit Rodriguez. Didn't really try to move out of the way, and I don't even think that's going to raise a bruise in the morning. Oop. Right on the meat and potatoes. Right where all the carbs go anyway. That'll bring up the top of the order, and Cesar Hernandez with a runner on. Fastball, and that's fouled back. So Julian Diaz had to sit through that big 7-run 10-at-bat inning. And a curveball, and that misses. So now he's got to find his focus again. Curveball, and that finds a strike zone. 1-2. And that's fouled off. So the Cougars are hanging tough, taking their hacks at Diaz. Curveball, and that's sent to third base, picked up by Sales. Went to second for one, on to first, and safe at first is Cesar Hernandez. Tried to do the old 5-4-3 around the horn, but they got the lead runner. "5-4" on the put out there. Then you see the throw over, and safe at first is Hernandez on the fielder's choice. Ricky Navarro looks at a strike. Navarro struck out looking in the second inning. This one's popped up, and it'll go out of play. Cleared everybody's head and cleared everybody's car. It's 0-2 to Navarro now. Foul tipped into the glove of Estrella, and he strikes out for the second time, but this one's swinging. 3 strikeouts on the afternoon for Julian Diaz, and no runs across for the Cougars. No runs, no hits, and a man left. 7-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. 7-0 Cardinals. 7 runs on 4 hits for Lawndale. No runs on a hit and 2 errors for Hawthorne. It'll be Josh Barberin, Jace Dempsey, and Jonathan Ponce on the bunt try. Bunted at and missed. 0-1 to Barberin, who was on in the second inning on an error to Ricky Navarro at third base. Curveball finds a strike zone. 0-2. Off-speed pitch swung on and missed, and down goes Barberin. First strikeout of the afternoon for Danny Villarreal. And it'll be Jace Dempsey, the center fielder, and a senior. So even his dad calls him Hollywood. Curveball, and that's in for a strike. Back in the 7-run second, Jace got a bunt single. And he eventually came around and scored. Pulled towards the first baseman, and it hops over Jose Robles' glove. And coming to get it in a hurry was the second baseman, De La Luz. That just went olé right over the glove of Robles. So I got to give Big Jose an error on that one. So the third error for the Cougars. And there goes Dempsey. Throw is there, and they got him. Beautiful throw by Andy Garcia to De La Luz. So 2-4 caught stealing is Jace Dempsey. Not a bad gamble, up 7-0. Emilio Barrera, actually it's Jonathan Ponce, batting for Barrera. Looks at a strike. I believe the count is 1-1. Fastball outside. With 2 down. Curveball. That bounces away. And so now Ron White has to pick up the ball. No, nobody sent a player out. Actually, it should be the home team's responsibility to go and pick up the foul ball. Now, there's a lot of cups behind home plate. So take a look at Danny Villarreal and now the hitter, Jonathan Ponce. Ground ball, and that's just foul over the third base bag. Just missed the third base bag. So now it's 3-2. But behind home plate, just behind the backstop, or down, just in front of the backstop, there's almost a dozen plastic cups on the ground. I don't know if you can see it from that shot. Now it's 3-2. But up on the fence, the cups spelled out seniors. As you can see, the letters spelled out. And that's strike 3. And down goes Jonathan Ponce, and down go the Cardinals. So 1, 2, 3 actually. 3 batters faced by Danny Villarreal, although there was another error on Jose Robles. So no runs, no hits, an error. And we'll go to the top of the 4th inning with the Cardinals leading by 7. Julian Diaz getting ready to pitch, but Ron White says, hang on. And something's going on in the outfield, in left field, as this one goes straight up in the air and out of play. 0-1 to Michael Villarreal. That one was inside. Michael Villarreal is listed as a freshman, and did that hit him? Let's take a look at that again. See if we can see if that did, in fact, hit Michael Villarreal. And Tony Estrella says it didn't, the catcher. But Morris Phillips says, nah, just let it go. Let's see if, a little more. Yeah. If it did, it just barely hit the sleeve. Now here comes big brother Danny. And he pops it up. Julian Diaz says he has it. No, he let it drop onto second for one, and first a double play. The infield fly rule was not called, so that allowed Diaz to field the ball. And let's take another peek at this one. See, there's a fly. Let it bounce. And this one's lined into center field, and Jace Dempsey with the big catch on the line drive. Hollywood swinging out there in center field. So how about that? There's Jace Dempsey on his horse. And down goes Andy Garcia. So no runs, no hits, nobody left in a crazy inning. And we'll come back and recap that for you when we come back in the bottom of the fourth. Coach Robert Dempsey doing some house cleaning here, getting all those white Solo cups cleaned up behind home plate. And the Cougars, actually the Cardinals, will send up Aaron Gomez, Adrian Saldana, and then the top of the order in Wayne Sales against Danny Villarreal. As Ricky Navarro gets set. And let's look at this first pitch. Fastball inside. 0-1. Recapping the top of the fourth, Michael Villarreal was hit by a pitch. Here comes Danny's pitch, and this one's hit into center field, but right at the center fielder, Michael Villarreal. And that'll bring up Adrian Saldana. And Michael and Danny are the two principals in this weird double play, where Michael was hit by a pitch barely on the sleeve, and then Danny Villarreal on the next pitch popped it up. Julian Diaz said he had it. The infield fly rule was not called, so he let it bounce in a very smart play. He picked the ball, fired it to second base as this one's popped out of play. So it's 1-1. Or check that, 0-1 to Saldana. So Diaz threw it to short, where Emilio Barrera picked it up and then threw to first to Kristen Medrano for the 1-6-3 double play. Next one is bunted at, but pulled the bat away. So it's 1-1. And then Andy Garcia hit a low screaming line drive that Jace Dempsey caught up with, and this is a nice hard ground ball to Ricky Navarro, and he throws over to Robles for the out. So 2 down. 5-3 on the putout. There you see the replay. That'll bring up the top of the order in Wayne Sales. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt. 0-1. Sales is 1 for 2 with 2 RBI and a run scored and a stolen base. And that curveball bounces away from everybody. So now proper etiquette is being performed by Lawndale. It's the home team's responsibility, really, to get the loose balls around home plate. 1-1 to Sales. Villarreal pitching out of the stretch with nobody on. And this is pulled to third, but a backhanded try by Navarro goes under his glove, and that's a base hit. And Ricky Navarro puts the glove over his face like, how in the heck did that happen? Let's take a look at it. Just went ole right under the glove. It didn't look like it touched it. But still, that's one you got to get. So, another error on Ricky Navarro. That's his second of the day. And that came with 2 outs, so that was a huge error. Let's see if it costs the Cougars anything. As Tony Estrella looks at a ball, this throw down, and Daniel De La Luz had to put on the brakes and change directions, or else that would have been in center field. And there goes the runner. Sales didn't even slide in there. So he has his second stolen base of the day, and Estrella has a 1-0 count on him. As Sales gets himself readjusted, here comes Villarreal's pitch up the middle and scooped up by Hernandez. Fires it across. Robles picks it out of the dirt. Nice pickup by Jose Robles. And down go the Cardinals on the 6-3 putout. As Morris Phillips talking to Wayne Sales. And so no runs, no hits, but a man left for the Cardinals. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. 7-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Back here at Senior Day at Hawthorne High School, the Cardinals are flying high at Lawndale High School, where the Cardinals nest 7-0 in the top of the 5th inning. It'll be Jose Robles, who looks at strike 1 from Julian Diaz. Alex Villarreal and Daniel De La Luz. Another fastball and another strike. Seven runs on 4 hits for the Cardinals, and this one is a curveball picked up by Barrera. Throws it across to Medrano. 6-3 on the putout. That was a good job by Jose Robles to wait on that curveball. But he pulled it, got it just on the end of the bat. It's a good idea, though, and made contact. That'll bring up Alex Villarreal. Fastball right down Hawthorne Boulevard. Comes the 0-1, and this was popped straight up and straight back. So it's 0-2 to Alex, who's 0 for 1. Bounced down to third base, his first time up, and now this one dribbles foul up the first base line. Picked up by Rene Gonzalez. That one's fouled back as Alex Villarreal of the Villarreal ×3 crew. A senior and 2 freshmen. Curveball, and Alex was jelly-legging on that one. He didn't know where that was going to end up. And he has a little laugh with catcher Tony Estrella on that one. Fastball, though, and that was strike 3 called. Fourth strikeout of the afternoon for Diaz, and that'll bring up Daniel De La Luz, who's been busy. Let's look at this fastball. Boink. Right where Estrella had the glove. Curveball, and De La Luz was thinking about bunting, but even though he didn't pull the bat back, it was still a strike. Another curveball, and that's low. 1-1. Had a chance to meet with the new head coach of the Cougars, Larry Stevenson. It's 2-1. As this one's hit in the air into right field and taken care of by Josh Barbarin. So that's the third out of the inning. And we'll take another look at this one. It's a nice line drive, but run down nicely by Josh Barbarin. Let's go to the bottom of the fifth with Lawndale on top. Back here, the bottom of the fifth inning for the Lawndale Cardinals as Morris Phillips, the head coach for the Cardinals, runs down to the third base coaching box. Julian Diaz, the pitcher of record for the Cardinals, against Kristen, and then it'll be Kristen Medrano and Josh Barbarin against Danny Villanueva, or Villarreal. Boy, I don't know what's the matter with my brain today. That pitch stayed up high. Curveball and swung on and fouled back. Or fouled at the plate. So Coach Phillips was trying to drive home the point to his Cardinals that they were in a spot to get into the playoffs. And this is a ground ball picked up nicely by Hernandez. Throws across to get the speedy Diaz. Nice stretch by Robles at first. 6-3 on the put-up. That'll bring up Kristen Medrano. Nice easy hop. Did some nice bounces off that infield. Fastball is called a strike on the outside corner to Medrano, who's 1 for 2. Had a base hit and scored in the second inning. He led things off and then finished the inning with a long fly ball to center field. Curveball, and that's fouled at the plate. 0-2. So this was on Tuesday, the 8th, when Hawthorne hosted the Cardinals and won 4-2. Where it was a close game, but then Coach Morris said his Cardinals allowed the Cougars back in the game. Here comes the 1-2, and that's sent into left field for a base hit. Nice line drive by Medrano. That'll bring up Josh Barbarin with 1 down and 1 on. Cutting into that wind. Almost squashed it down into Cesar Hernandez's glove at shortstop. Don't think Christian's going to be a threat to steal, but you never know. Keep an eye on him. This one's popped up and goes into the Centinela Valley warehouse door. Probably barcode it and inventory it. That one's in for a strike. 0-2. So Coach Phillips was so distraught after the ball game, after everybody loaded up onto the bus and Bussy wanted to come back here to Lawndale. Still 0-2 on the foul ball. Coach Phillips walked back from Hawthorne High School. I mean, not that it was in the snow and uphill both ways and barefoot, but it was just the fact that he was convinced that the Cardinals, nice play by Robles to keep that throw by Garcia in play. It's 1-2 now. But Garcia, you got to be ready. He's got a spring in that arm. Just back in time on his belly is Medrano. But it's the point that Coach Phillips is so passionate about these Cardinals. You see the dive back. This one's popped up into short right center field, and De La Luz puts it away. And with that wind, it just makes it a pop fly or a fly ball an adventure once it gets up high. And here comes Hollywood Dempsey. And Villarreal trying to pick off Medrano. And now Medrano's got the dirtiest uniform out there. Comes the pitch, in for a strike, 0-1. So to close the book on the Phillips story after this pitch, curveball, and that's hit to Robles, who steps on the bag, and that's the third out as Dempsey pulled the ball down to first base, and 3 unassisted on the putout. So Phillips just was so hungry to get these Cardinals in the playoffs. As we look at the replay, Jace Dempsey with the ground out. It didn't get it, so now the Cardinals have to leave it up to the CIF people to try to get into the playoffs and get an at-large bid. But back here, there are no runs on 1 hit and 1 man left, and we'll go to the 6th inning, 7-0 Lawndale. Great to see the parents out here on Senior Day, and Julian Diaz and Adrian Saldana getting some love from Mom and Dad and everybody here. And there's another sign there. Can't really see it. It's Adrian's girlfriend? Okay. Now she's totally embarrassed. Thanks, Mama. But Mom doesn't care. Let's embarrass them all, huh? They got some signs here. Got to get some pictures of those signs. 7 runs on 5 hits now for the Cardinals. No runs on 1 hit and 4 errors for Hawthorne. Julian Diaz in his 6th inning of work. Leadoff hitter. Is a pinch hitter, Enrique Haregi. Ground ball to second base. Gomez throws to Medrano. Four, 3 on the putout on the pinch hitter. That'll bring up the top of the order and Cesar Hernandez. Ricky Haregi is a senior, so that might have been his last at bat here at Lawndale. Cesar Hernandez, a junior, looks a strike 1. And that one was just popped up off the bat on a check swing. So yeah, on the hands, off the handle, really. And that's one of those gosh dogged hits. Curveball to Ricky Navarro. Another curveball called a strike. This one's popped up and put away by Aaron Gomez. And 1-2-3 go the Cougars in their half of the sixth inning. We're going to go to the bottom of the sixth as we look at 3 curveballs from Julian Diaz, and one of them into the glove of Aaron Gomez. We go to the bottom of the sixth with Lawndale up by 7. Back here at Lawndale High School, it'll be the middle of the order, actually towards the bottom of the order, the bottom 3. It'll be designated hitter Jonathan Ponce, Aaron Gomez, and Adrian Saldana facing Danny Villarreal. Only 6 pitches thrown by Diaz in the top of the 6th inning. He's done that twice. Did that also in the 4th inning. 75 pitches for Diaz, 77 pitches now for Villarreal. So 1-0, now it's 2-0 to Ponce. Jonathan is 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch, so had an RBI the hard way, and also scored a run and almost got plunked again. It's 3-0 now. And then Ponce struck out swinging to end the 3rd inning. So the base hit by Medrano, 3-1. The base hit by Medrano back in the 5th inning was the first hit for the Cardinals, and this one's grounded to second. De La Luz over to Robles, 4-3 on the putout, 1 down, and that'll bring up Aaron Gomez. But Danny Villarreal had not given up a hit since the 2nd inning, and still pitching a terrific game, keeping the Cardinals off balance. Curveball, and that bends in for a strike, and that had Aaron Gomez bending out of the way. Aaron is 0 for 1. Walked, had an RBI, and then came around and scored in the 7-run second. Fastball inside, 1-1. And then flew out to center to lead off the 4th inning. Curveball, and that's fouled at the plate. So it's 1-2. So Danny Villarreal was on the ropes with a standing 7 count. 7 runs given up in that 2nd inning. 10 batters, 10 Cardinals came to the plate. Look out. 2-2. So now there is a reliever throwing in the bullpen for the Cougars, but Danny Villarreal has pitched a whale of a ball game, except for that 2nd inning. Couple of hops for Navarro. On to Robles, 2 down. 5-3 on the putout. So take another look at that. That'll bring up Adrian Saldana. All sorts of pictures and glitters of Adrian here. One of the seniors, one of the 5 seniors on this Cardinal crew, and sends this one up in the air down the right field line and just out of play. Let's watch that again. Nice cut. This one's pulled down the line but picked up by Navarro, and it gets away from Robles, And down to second base goes Saldana. So Navarro picks it up, throws it across, and the throw got away from Robles. So second base for Saldana on the throwing error. At third base by Ricky Navarro. That brings up the top of the order and Wayne Sales, who looks at a fastball at the knees for a strike. Wayne is 1 for 3. Has a base hit, stolen base, actually 2 stolen bases, and an RBI. Garcia got that one. A nice bounce off the backstop. But by the time he picked it up, Saldana had already gotten to third base. Another pitch in the dirt. Hit foul. Now it's 2-2. Villarreal looks at the runner at third, and that almost hit him. Now it's 3-2. Curveball, and that's pulled foul. So it remains 3-2 with 2 down. Here it comes. And that's low and outside. So a walk given up by Villarreal, and that puts runners at the corners with 2 down for Tony Estrella. Only the second walk given up by Villarreal. Fastball, and that's inside to Estrella. Tony is 1 for 3. Had an RBI single back in the second inning and then was cut down, trying to stretch that into a double. So 1-1. And runners at the corners with 2 down for the Cardinals, and curveball, and that's low. 2-1. Fastball, and that's hit into center field, but right at Michael Villarreal, and he puts it away for the third out. So Estrella hit it hard, but lines out to Villarreal in center field for the second time. Getting some good composite on it, that's for sure. But 2 runners are left, no hits. And the score going into the 7th remains 7-0 Cardinals. New pitcher on the mound for the Lawndale Cardinals is Jace Dempsey. And would imagine that Julian Diaz or somebody like that is out in center field. Just a basic switch. I believe that's Julian Diaz. But Jace will face Michael Villarreal, Danny Villarreal, and Andy Garcia in the top of the 7th. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Fastball, and that hits the outside corner for strike 1. Now, without numbers on the front of the Cardinal jerseys, it's tough to see who's out there in center field right now. No save opportunity for Jace. Just getting some work in on the last game, senior day. And it's 1-2 now to Michael Villarreal, who was hit by a pitch. And Ron White finally decides that was strike 3 called. So 5 strikeouts for Cardinal pitching, the first one for Jace Dempsey. So 2 down remaining, Danny Villarreal. Let's watch this here. Big looping curveball, and yep, that was a strike. Ended up belt high. That was from the Hollywood sign down to Sunset Boulevard. Get it? Jace Dempsey, Hollywood. Okay. 1-0 to Danny Villarreal. Now it's 2-0. A terrific day for the Cardinals as this one sent high and deep down the left field line, but that hook's foul off of the locker room. Now Larry Stevenson wants to have a chat with Danny Villarreal. And Stevenson just pulled Danny Villarreal. They had an argument about something. Now let's watch Larry Stevenson as we watch the ball go foul. Maybe Danny Villarreal missed a sign. But at any rate, it's a 2-1 count to the pinch hitter. Christian Preciado. Now it's 3-2. So Coach Stevenson isn't messing around. So now let's see what Larry Stevenson is talking about. He is not happy about something, that's for sure. But that is a 1-0 count to Andy Garcia. That's definitely Andy up to bat. looks high and outside. 2-0. Inside with a fastball. So now it's 3-0. So even Jace Dempsey's distracted by what's happened. Garcia bluffed a bunt and lets the strike go by. Ground ball to third base. This could be it. The short way. So one to first, and that's a double play. And that'll do it for the Cougars and for this ball game and for the season. Well, maybe we'll get a playoff team out of an at-large bid from the Ocean, but 5-4-3 on the double play, and that ends the ball game. So no runs on no hits and nobody left. A strikeout for Dempsey, who goes 1 inning, doesn't give up a run. A strikeout and a hit, and best friends on the field and off the field. These Lawndale Cardinals and the Hawthorne Cougars. Let's take a look at the final out, final double play. Garcia gets it in on the hands. Over to Gomez to Medrano. Just barely got it over to Medrano for the third out. So 5-4-3 on the double play, and so no runs on just one hit. So Jace Dempsey and Julian Diaz combined for a one-hitter, and the final score 7-0 in favor of the Cardinals. We'll be back with the final score and our player of the game, tip of the hat, and maybe an interview or two coming up next on City TV. Back here at Lawndale High School, the victorious Lawndale Cardinals and their seniors are here with us today. 7-0, a big comeback win, or not a comeback win, but a win over the Hawthorne Cougars, and head coach Morris Phillips. Quite a win, especially after the other day.
Yes. The other day was a nightmare, but they came back to show the true Cardinal spirit and played ball like I know that they know how to play ball.
Now, with the 2-8 record in the Ocean League, do you think there's a shot that the CIF gods might give you an at-large bid?
I really hope so. They look past that Tuesday's game. We've been playing everyone very tough. We lost to El Segundo 2-1, 1-0. We played Culver City to a 1-0 and a 5-4 game. Everything was by one run, at least 7 or 8 games. And you look at El Segundo, they're going to be 10-0 today. And we played them so tough that even the coach says they cannot see why we're not being in a DV5 tournament. I think we'll play anyone in D5, to be quite honest, because what we played in our league is really, really good. Any other leagues, like, I think we could, have a real winnable record, but it's difficult playing in the Ocean League because Ocean League has some good ball players, good teams.
Oh yeah, just perennially some terrific teams. And let's go to our player of the game, and Julian Diaz. And Juju, at least today you guys didn't make your coach walk home.
I know. That was funny.
And what about today's game? You gave up one hit. Yeah, what's wrong with there? You gave up one hit.
I know. I was trying to go for the no-no, but came up short.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And senior day here, you got all your buds here on the team. What does that mean to you? Gosh, that's 4 years must have blown by, huh?
Yeah, it went really, really fast, and I just love them, man.
Yeah.
I want to keep playing with them.
So what's next for you? What's the next level for you as far as baseball?
I'm gonna go to Elko and play for a year and probably transfer out, see if I get looked at.
Okay, all right. And so that's our player of the game. So what has it meant playing here all this time for 4 years, and now with Coach Phillips here? What has he meant to your game?
He means a lot. He helped me a lot, and he got coaches to look at me, and he means a lot to me.
So you should go to a junior college in Hawaii.
Not too damn far.
And our tip of the hat, usually we give it to one person, but this is a special day. It's seniors, so we're going to have a tip of the hat to all of the seniors here. And Jace Dempsey, so Hollywood, what was it like out there today? You made that nice running catch, and we're part of that big second inning.
Well, I got
Your dad's out there. He's barking worse than those dogs on the barbecue out there.
It was fine. It was a good game. We all enjoyed ourselves. Our last game out here.
And the rose, you gonna keep that and press in your book? Or?
I gave it to my mom.
Okay, all right. Yeah. And so what's next for you?
I'm gonna probably play JUCO ball for a little while. Hopefully, I can continue to play with Drew. And we've been playing with each other since we was like 8 years old. So
keep it up.
yeah, next chapter.
All right. And so let's go on down the line here.
Oh wow. Okay. Yes.
What's your name?
Adrian.
Saldana.
Saldana. Yeah.
Okay, because your mom was really whooping it up over there, taking it, and some cute little gal over there, she was rooting for you.
Yeah.
Is that really your girlfriend?
Yeah, that's my girlfriend.
Why did you outpunt the coverage?
I just asked her. She said yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's what you got to do. You got to step up and take your swings, right?
Yeah.
So where are you gonna take your swings next year?
I'm gonna go to Northridge, but hopefully I'll try for the team and see what happens from there.
There you go. All right. That's, the Matadors. So it's going to be a good one. And that leaves us with Aaron, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Aaron. So you got your date earlier today, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
Prom, yeah.
So how did that work out? Is this going to be your guys' first date?
No, not our first day, but nah, she didn't say. All I gotta say is I got 2 W's today. Me and my girl and me and my boys. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Got to end it on that. All right. The Cardinals 7-0 over the Hawthorne Cougars today in the final game of Ocean League action, and maybe we'll see you in the playoffs. For Tom Strickfaden and Eric Chavez and the rest of the award-winning City TV crew, this is Lou Stowers telling you once again the final score, 7-0 Lawndale.